Welcome to a community episode of Queerly Beloved. In these episodes, we'll be hearing and celebrating your queer stories and the music that goes with them. I asked you on Instagram, I asked my Queerly Beloved community to pick a track that you associate with a part of your own queer journey and to record a short video telling me why. It's also a place for you to ask me questions, if indeed there is anything you would like to know. Shall we get started? So first up is a video from Joe.
Hello. So the song that I've chosen as like a queer awakening of mine is "Taking the Water" by Jessie Ware, and it's such a beautiful song. And I think she actually wrote it for her brother, but for me, it reminds me of so many firsts, like being in love for the first time, my first boyfriend. And like 10 years ago, we were down at Heaven in London, down the embankment. And yeah, she was singing on stage. Jessie Ware, not my ex-boyfriend, was singing on stage. And yeah, this song just transports me back there and reminds me of all of those firsts. So I love it for that. Yeah, and my question to Cormac is, who is your assigned diva at birth? Obviously, we all have one. Mine are Mariah Carey and Whitney Houston. I've got two.
Thanks, Joe. That was so sweet. I love Jessie Ware's voice. I find her so soulful, and there's something about choosing Jessie Ware that connects to a lot of the themes that we've been touching on in Queerly Beloved around soul music and hymns and club spaces being safe kind of churches for queer people. I didn't know that song. I became a bit more aware of Jessie on the next album. I really love What's Your Pleasure. I think that's a hit forever. I've opened my set sometimes with that. But it's so beautiful. I read the lyrics actually of the track you suggested, and yeah, it's very romantic and slightly melancholic, and it has that thing of, I don't know, kind of not being able to quite reach someone somehow, and I really connected with it. It's a beautiful choice. Thank you for sharing. And who is my assigned diva at birth? I've never heard that term before, but I am stealing it. I think being the good Catholic boy that I am, I think probably it was the Virgin Mary, believe it or not. I was really infatuated with the Virgin Mary as a kid up until, I don't know, a very young age. Being brought up in a Catholic house, I was kind of fascinated by this story of the Virgin Mary appearing to people, like these apparitions. And then I discovered Madonna. So I literally went from like the virgin to the whore complex somehow in terms of imagery at least, and I haven't looked back. Actually, I would say I'm probably interested in both of those archetypes and various other female archetypes also, but probably it was the Virgin Mary and then Madonna. So next up is Pop Arias.
Hi, Cormac. The song I associate with my queer awakening is Take That, 1993 song, Relight My Fire. The song has amazing choreography, amazing costumes, the spirit and the dance energy, the high energy of disco in this song is amazing. It was one of the first songs I heard on MTV. I grew up in a post-communistic country, and this song showed me the type of man that I have never seen back then. I was around preschool age, but I already knew I was becoming gay. I didn't know it consciously, but I looked for these types of men in my life ever after. The guys with the abs, and those were Jason and Howard in the song, Mark, who was the twin, Robbie and Gary, who were the bad boys. The song has always been my best song.
Hey Arias, very nice to see you. I still have the book you gave me and I haven't started it yet, but I will. I'm so surprised that a boy band hasn't popped up on Queerly Beloved before. So well done on naming Take That, who actually began their career dancing in gay clubs in Manchester, from what I remember being told. That song was definitely a highlight for Take That, I think. I think it's a great cover version. Actually, the intro of the original from Dan Hartman, I've often played at the beginning of my sets and then just kind of mixed into it because I think it's probably one of the most epic, cosmic disco intros ever. And take that being the cute boys that they were. I mean, they did a great rendition of it. And also the Lulu vocals on that track with Take That are pretty epic. Good choice. Lilu, you lovely person. It's lovely to see your video.
Hi Cormac, it's Lilu Shire. One track I associate with my queer awakening, brace yourself, Men Down by Rihanna. But okay, picture it. 2011. The Loud album just came out, and it's also my first time in a lesbian bar, which was kind of a thing, you know, like it was still the stage when I was making out with my female friends and pretending like, ha ha ha, this is just for fun, this is not serious, I'm not into women at all. So it was quite a thing to be out there. And in this bar, so they played the track, and honestly, the crowd just turned like pure sexual energy, like women grinding, sweaty, nasty, like really hot, like just feeling themselves. And also, we didn't really understand the lyrics. It was in France, right? We just understood Men Down, which was weirdly like empowering, although it's about shooting someone. But yeah, this was the moment I really understood I am into this, really. One question for you. When was the last time you cried in a club, whether it was when you were playing or when you were dancing? Yeah.
Lilu, I love this story. It reminds me of my days working in a lesbian bar in London and the atmosphere and the intensity that could happen in that bar. And I love Riri as a lesbian icon. It makes a lot of sense to me. I love Riri. Yeah, I mean, the thing that I get from your story really is the intensity of single sex spaces and how liberating and freeing they can be. And although I don't want to live in a single sex world, I do value, well, within queer culture, I do value single sex spaces. I understand their importance and the need for them. And what a great choice. What a kind of slightly off the wall choice. It's brilliant. Thank you. When did I last cry on the dance floor or when I was playing? I have definitely cried when DJing. Not so often. You know, DJing is a very cathartic experience for me, and I tend to pour what I'm experiencing into my set in some way, usually through my choices or my feeling. And you know, I've never cancelled a gig in 20 years of DJing. So around the time that my mother died, I was still DJing, and I remember DJing and feeling quite emotional during a set, but it was very cathartic. It wasn't in an upsetting way. You know, I've learned a lot of my life skills within the DJ booth, and I've processed a lot of things there as well. And I've learned to be kinder to myself and to practice kindness in the room around me also as a DJ. And so I have felt emotional for sure and cried. I remember that one. And I've also cried tears of joy. And perhaps the tears I was crying for my mother at the time weren't really of sorrow either, maybe more of celebration and release and honoring someone. I think you can't help but take your emotions, or I can't help take my emotions into a club space and into the DJ set. I've kind of learned to boundary it a little bit because I also have to like feel safe and protected in what I do when I do it. And some spaces I would feel more safe to relax in that way or be truly vulnerable in that way. It does happen. It's not a bad thing. So the next message is from Philippe.
Hey Cormac, it's Philippe. Any pronouns? The track that I would pick for you would be Moan by Trent Müller, the remix version, not the original. The reason for this is because we had a collective with our friends, and between 2014 to 2017, we were organizing these underground, open-minded, sex-positive parties. And this was the first time I had a safe space to express my gender identity in a way that was more true to myself, which of course was unforgettable. And as a resident DJ, I was also playing this track very often. And if you know the track, that has very soft, vulnerable vocals and lyrics, and softness and vulnerability. These are kind of two key elements of my queer journey. And as well as this, you have this section at the end, which is very intense, aggressive, and harsh. And the contrast between these two creates this duality in the track. And this is also a common topic in my queer journey, this connection between the soft and the hard, masculine and feminine, the yin and the yang. And this is why I picked this track.
Thank you, Philippe. All of the Queerly Beloved community seem to be so cute. Tech House gets a bit of a bad rep sometimes, and I think that there are great elements of all genres. And when I think of really great Tech House, I think about Trent Muller. When I first heard Trent Muller's vinyl, when I started to buy Trent Muller vinyl, I just kind of tried to buy everything because it was the way that he was playing with sound was so intricate and deep in a way that it felt very new and fresh. And that track in particular, I love how you describe the softness with the more harder elements and that kind of more ecstatic, ravenous build that happens at the end. And I love hearing about, you having a queer collective party. That sounds very exciting. I hope you had a lot of fun. I'm pretty sure you did. Chimp, I recognize you. You came up and spoke to me at the Polari party at Panorama Bar, and we had a lovely conversation. I'm looking forward to listening to your selection.
Hey, Cormac, it's Chimp Hardy. My queer musical experience involves the Cocteau Twins and losing my virginity. So basically, I met a guy online, and we kind of saw each other dating the whole summer. We messed around a little bit, but when it came to anal sex, we waited. I wanted to wait because I was pure. But when it finally happened, it was super exciting. Of course, as I'm topping him, Cocteau Twins were playing the whole time, and I remember just kind of going in and out of him, and also kind of going in and out of consciousness because I was so overwhelmed, and all I heard was "I've been in Las Vegas." And so every time I hear those beautiful vocals of the Cocteau Twins, I just think of melting into anal sex.
Okay. Chimp. Wow. The Cocteau Twins, that album, Heaven or Las Vegas, is a massive album for me. I would say 1990 is a massive year for me in terms of music I like, from Sinead O'Connor to D-Light to the Cocteau Twins. There was a lot of great stuff happening then, and that album is one of those albums I think that connects my family and I. We all kind of love that album. It was played a lot on car journeys, and yeah, it's a very personal album for me. I love that track. I wasn't having anal sex to that track, but I do have lovely memories of it. But how amazing to lose your virginity to the Cocteau Twins. That's so beautiful. I can't remember what was playing when I lost my virginity, but it wasn't the Cocteau Twins. It was probably some house mix CD or something. But wow, yeah, I mean, let's not hold back on the topics, Chimp. Let's go for it. Wow, these are great. These are super great. I mean, I love that these are the first selection of you, the community, sending in videos. These are amazing. Please send me more. That is it for today. I'd love to hear your track selection and story. So send in your 60-second video to contactqueerlybeloved@gmail.com. Make sure to include your name and pronouns in your email and tell me whether you are okay with your video being shared on social media. Until next time, bye.